You often hear people say, wait for the best setups, but you're probably wondering what is the best setup? Well, I'm going to show you one of my favorite setups, and when it comes along, you do not want to miss it. Let's get to it. So this trade was on plug, P-L-U-G. You can see I took the trade as a short at 1878 and then covered in the 18s, in the low 18s. Why did I take this trade? So I'm going to go over this fairly quickly here. You can see this nice little uptrend line on the daily chart. Now the daily chart is super important. I need to see the daily chart setup as well as intraday and multi-day. So we can see a multi-day trend line forming. And if you go to the hourly and zoom out, you can see that trend line still there. That's something that I need to see. If we go to the 15-minute, you'll see it's still there. And here's something that's super important about the trend line. I need it to have a reaction. So at these levels, you'll see we definitely have reaction. And that is something that is very important to me. Now, if we zoom in here on the day it happened, we also had reaction a couple of times intraday pre-market. So that's enticing me to look at this trade more closely, to set up a plan and take the trade when it cracks. Now, there's some occasions where I will not take the trade at all if it cracks. There's some occasions where I do. And this occasion, I decided to take a position when the trend line cracked because the overall market was looking weak as well. And to be quite frank and honest, there hasn't been a lot of trades often for me this week because I'm being very selective and waiting for the easy setups. And what do I mean by easy? Look how easy this was. You get in and it really flushes. Now, I don't know if it's going to do that right away, but I do want to put myself in the position where I can take advantage of it when it does. Now, if we zoom in here on the 5-minute, you'll see that when it cracks, I took position at 1878. And ideally, I did want more shares and I wanted it to pop so I can get more size. So I took a small position on this setup because it didn't give me the optimal entry. Optimal entry would have been in the 19s, but it didn't pop. I was hoping that it would pop. And in this market lately, when things are cracking, they kind of just flush out. That doesn't mean I want to build a bad habit of sizing in there. And if you choose to play them, you need to play them where you're comfortable. So if you want to risk $1,000 for this trade, go for it. But if you only want to risk $10, $100, that's up to you. The key is you do not want to take this trade with your full position, especially on a push down, because you want to wait optimally for a bounce so you can get in full size. It didn't give me that bounce, so I'm going to take what the market gives me. And this is something I'm growing as a trader myself, especially this year. This has been a very difficult year for tons of traders, people who've been on my show, as well as traders who are growing, as well as myself. And what I'm learning is I am greedy. And typically I would be like, you know what? I want full size here or else I'm not going to take it and then miss the move. In this case, I'm going to take my position, what I'm comfortable with, and then take the move when it's given to me and not worry about the profits or the loss. Be focused on the process. And that's something we talk about all day. There's not much else to go into this trade specifically, but I do want to talk about a couple of things. I want to take this time to say thank you to our sponsor, Cobra Trading. Cobra Trading is the go-to broker for day traders and short sellers. And I'm not the only one saying this. In fact, Benzinga awarded Cobra Trading as the go-to broker for short selling. They have a heavy focus on direct market access order routing, so you have the fastest execution. They have some of the best locate prices and availability. They also have amazing customer service. I've experienced many different brokers, and it's why I use them every single day and why I'm proud to have them as our sponsor. Sign up now by clicking the Be the Trader referral link below and earn 1 free month of software with Cobra and 25% off all commissions. Now let's get back to the show. And that is, number one, if you are having difficulty in this market, it could be because you are being greedy. If you see opportunities and they're not giving you the full range that you want, just take your profits and walk away. If you see great opportunity, but the entry is not the best, meaning you don't want to risk your full R, well, take the position if you want to, but make sure you size in accordingly and then take the profits. Don't think, oh, I'm only in a quarter size and made the move. I wish I had full size, so I'm going to wait for it to pop and then get full size and then take the move. That, my friend, will set you up for a headache because it did for me. For the longest time in this year of 2022, I am a range trader. I like to go for the range, go for the move. And this year it's been a little difficult because the range is there, but the setups are not there for the great size. So if you take a small position and it ends up going to your full profit target, but you only have half, a quarter, a third, I was sometimes greedy. I want it to only take a little bit off, and then I wait for a pop and get most size in and then ride it back down. But here's the thing. When you wait for that, let me show you. When you wait for this, and if you're wondering what software this is TradingView. It's my new software. I love it because I can show you everything I'm explaining. So if you're interested in this, link below, check it out. It helps me out a little bit and it helps you out because you get badass software with a great deal. So with that being said, when I mean the move is given, like if this is the move I'm looking for, then the move has already happened. Why would I wait for it to pop back up to here to take my position and then ride it back down? Sure, that could happen. But for me, thinking that way is greedy because this move has already happened. You can see that it actually dropped to a key level here, which is major support. So for me to anticipate that it's going to crack that level, it's going to give me another opportunity to bounce and get full size and come back down is greediness, right? It gave me the move, it shot down, take your profits, and then reset. So like I took all my profits in this area and now I'm resetting. So if it popped back up, sure, I'll take some position again and maybe I can get in the 19s and maybe I'll pull back. But at the same time, the chart is evolving. This is something that's super important. What do I mean by evolving? And this is something that's taken me a long time to learn and actually implement. But once a chart actually does its move, the chart is no longer the setup, right? Like sure it can be. I know a lot of people are thinking like, well, big picture is still there, and that's 100% true. But your risk starts to change. As the chart develops, the risk changes. As the chart makes its move, the likelihood of it breaking this level after already holding a key zone is not as high. So I want to make sure that I adjust my risk parameters because of that. So if you miss this move and then you want to get in on a pop, well, on this pop, if you get in here, you can't anticipate it coming straight to here and cover. You might want to anticipate it covering in this area because this is a consolidation zone. So that way you can plan accordingly and you're not thinking 3 to 1 is from here to here, but instead you're realizing that 3 to 1, you have to make sure it's like from here to here because this is the area you want to cover because you can't predict that it's going to break. Sure, that means you might miss it. That means that it could bounce up here like it's doing, come down, consolidate, and crack. That could happen. But that's trading. And trading, the most difficult part is waiting. And FOMO, I'm realizing more and more, is probably the root of all of trading losses. Some form or fashion. You tell me why you lost, I can probably relate it to FOMO if you give us long enough to talk about it. Think about this, and I want you guys to continue to grow. And thank you for sharing the show, subscribing, and again, God bless. Take care.